No, I'm going blue. Blue or orange. He was on the other. He's on the inside.
All right, welcome everybody to tonight's race here at Lanes Raceway. You can see the racers already got their cars set up. Glenn on red, Randy on white, Nathaniel on green, Kel on orange, and Tom on blue. Tonight we're doing something a little bit special tonight. We are going to be, well, y'all can't see that currently, but we're going to be doing a 3 and out race. I know it's been a couple weeks since we've done some live streams here. But as you can see, the orange track now has lights on it and everything else. We're going to move on over to our film cam here, and we're going to get ready to start this race. Is everybody ready? Everybody is ready. Do y'all not want to do 3-minute heats?
3 and out.
3 and out. That is the goal. Don't come off. That's all I can say. All right, everybody ready? Here we go. Chelsea, you might want to grab that button. All right, so we're going racing here. And right off the gate here, we can see Randy Kirtley out in the lead. We get a goal there. Looks like we lost 10 seconds for some reason, unknown to me, but nonetheless, we're going to continue on. One second. Be right back with you guys.
Hey, hang on. Hold on.
All right, so the wife needed a piece of paper there to write down who just went off there. Yeah, so the rules are getting explained to these racers out there. We used to race this back in the basement. Sometimes the guys understand how to stay in the lanes and how to treat each individual incident a little bit more serious, especially as they continue on, now having 1, maybe 2 apiece. You want to definitely not come off, as we still have 2 minutes and 18 seconds left. It kind of sounds like we might have some gear problems here. Hit the button! All right, looks like I'm going to have to do a little bit of work here. I'll be right back with you.
I got Phil State. Where I learned it, like small. I was still not blue. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Black belt. If you can't control the belt, just drive it.
And everything looks like it's working pretty well. We got a car coming off again. My wife multitasking currently. As you can see, she's on the phone talking to someone about drag racing, it sounds like. See if these boys are able to keep these cars on. Randy Kirtley now giving up the lead position to Tom Payton, as Randy Kirtley now officially takes that. See how things go. Don't know exactly what's going on here. Hopefully we don't have another stripped gear. Minute and 2 seconds left here in this 8-round heat. Still have 4 cars left on the track. We get another track call button there. As we get another car come off there on orange. That'd be Kel's car coming off. Don't bad axle distributor, and I'll tell you the axle's way too big. It's not an 1/8 inch axle. I don't know what it is. A 7th inch axle, I guess. But it's too big, and you can't get nothing on it without completely destroying your fingers and running metal all up in them and everything else. I did the best I could. Nonetheless, it's still irritating, to say the very least. I don't know what's going on. I guess those guys are going to figure it out. Right now, you can see we still got the chat up and going. If you guys want to chat, we can take a look at that every once in a while. Also, bring to your attention yet again, we do pinball here at Lanes Raceway. And this is our actual full-size actual who is on top on every one of our pinball. And this is current. We actually do have one for April, though, for the month of April, and it's a tournament long for April, and that's got a couple more days left in it, and that's this one here. And these are your lead scores for the month of April, and we're paying out top 5 positions on every single pinball table that we have here at Lanes Raceway. And it's been a big success. I think every one of them, at the very least, is paying out $40. So that just goes to show you how much pinball people have been playing. As we started out, I believe we started it at $5 or $10, and it goes up in quarter increments every time someone plays. So the payouts are quite substantial here for how much pinball is getting played. And we'll see if you're who can take home those top 5 positions, and each one of them will bring home a little bit of cash. I know it's been quite fun. We do spend a lot of time here playing pinball and a little bit of VR and everything else. Don't know exactly what's going on out there, Tom. What's going on out there?
Pinion gear. Pinion.
Pinion gear on whose car?
Kelsey's.
Really? Yeah. Just like I was telling these people a while ago, you know, it's just best just to throw that thing in the trash. It's been up, tore up, and I don't feel like fixing it again. It just deserves a good trash can. That's what it deserves. If you wreck them into the wall so many times, it just becomes a point that it's harder just to keep them straight than it is just to can them and get a new one. And I think it's pretty much reached to that point, if I was to guess. But I don't really know. As we can see here, just a fuller view here. I'm going to take a quick break and go check on this car, and I'll be right back with you guys.
Put your shoes back on. Like the song says, we're gonna super jackpot around the clock.
It's the pulling, then press stop. Instant more pulling, then press stop.
Sorry, computer, detect coding in pocket.
Just a Yoda in there. Put your shoes back on.
Airplane,
All right, so it was just as I suspected, an issue with that car that I consider junk. But we're fixing to go back racing. As you can see here, Tom Payton has 2, Cale has 2, Glenn Burton has 3, he's gone. I'm sorry, Nathaniel Burton has 3, he's gone. Glenn Burton there has 0, and Randy Kirtley has 0. And they got to hang on for another 40 seconds here before we do a lane rotation. See if they're able to hang on there. But Tom Payton right on the heels of Randy Kirtley there on blue. Glenn Burton and Cale just right there behind them, one lap. Probably playing the more bit better to be able to be seen. Now, I did see that Nathaniel Burton was working on his car there in the pits, so maybe he got it fixed if there was an issue with it or whatever. But I will say this, here in Livermore, Kentucky, this huge city we live in, as you can see it behind me here, actually, I was actually told what that city was before when I was talking to you guys. We didn't know exactly what the city was. We'll come to find out it's San Francisco. I don't live in San Francisco. This is Livermore. I'm going to get a picture to replace that, and then we'll fix all that up. But this is Livermore. This is where we are right now. As you can see, very wet and nasty sort of day. But I'll be right back with you here in about a minute and a half before we start our next heat. All right, everybody, we're back. I'm a little bit late behind the wheel, talking to a customer here, but we're back nonetheless. As you can see here, 2 minutes and 57 seconds left to go. So we're right back here in the mix. We're going to give it just a second for the stream to catch up. So it does look like we're having some processing issues here with the current cameras here. We'll see if they'll speed back up and catch up. Looks like one of them did, but the other one is struggling currently. As we get another yellow flag. And a car off the hilt there in the top right corner of your screen. You can see that car went flying there by the green almost in a slow motion, as the cameras do somewhat of the best effort that they possibly can to catch back up with current timing. The wife there, as you can see, she's got the hands on the stick there controlling these cars as we see like it came off. I'm just going to hurry and get them put back on. She's making marks, little tilde marks there for people that are coming off 3 times. We did in the basement do 2 and out, but we do 3 and out here. We did 2 and out when we first opened, and it didn't go over too well, but 3 and out's pretty well good, I would say. See if I can open one of these drawers and let the computer breathe a little bit. I usually have a fan down in there, but man, that fan we was using just isn't very good. It lasts for about 2 or 3 minutes and then it just shuts itself off, even if it's plugged into the wall. So I get down there and blow on it, I guess. Well, I got my microphone muted here. Hope you guys seen the fan we got. We do have plans in the future to actually build a computer here, and we'll pay for it, of course, whenever. Well, that was quick. Just enough time for me to grab a water. Doing all this talking, running the old gums, sometimes just causes the throat to get a little bit dry. 2 minutes and 17 seconds left to go. I figured 3 minutes for 3 outs. So they got to make it pretty much 1 minute per every coming off of the track. We'll see if they can hang in there and do that. So I'm going to disconnect there on YouTube's chat channel. Should be up and live now. Something I've noticed too, if y'all have not noticed in the bottom right hand screen, when the car throw a red flag and the whole, like even above up there in the drips or the tent type styling there at the top of the race board where people sign when they win. All that light turns red. All of the bottom border there, it turns red. Basically the whole room itself just turns red in a red flag condition, or a yellow flag, or when we go back green, it just all changes at once because you can sync all this stuff together. It's really pretty cool technology, and it's all free, and you can put it all on your phone, but you gotta have a little bit of knowledge and knowing how to connect things to networks, and a little bit of knowledge and knowing how to flash some of those USP chipsets. The chipsets are quite cheap. I think they're like $7 a piece. You can control up to about 1,000 lights or so on one of the chips before having to resort to going to another chip. After that race, though, we see Randy Kirtley still in the lead with 77 laps. 1 lap down from him, Tom Payton with 76. Glenn Burden 74, just 2 laps down from him. Kel there with 51 laps. He kind of struggled there a little bit on white as his car ended up coming off 3 times. Nathaniel Burden there having his car come off twice in a row 3 times. We'll see if he's able to get that fixed here. Pretty much a battle between Kel and Nathaniel. Might be a brew in here depending on how the rest of this race turns out. As we go and try to find us a little bit better of a view here, we can kind of look here on the oval track here as the guys go back to work on their cars and stuff like that. But it'd be about 2 or 3 minutes or so, and we'll be right back with you. All right, 5 seconds, we're going to go back racing. But like I was telling you guys before, it's WLED is the name of the program here that you can actually so if we look, let's say for instance there on the orange, we can turn the effect to solid, and you can see now it's orange, and what we're going to do is change it to green. So we change it to green, and then that way, you know, they know it's a green flag. But I guess currently right now, I suppose it's a yellow flag, so we'll leave it at yellow. So now it's going back green. Of course, I think one of the racers actually told me that it looks better going into the bridge instead of another yellow flag. I can just click it to yellow, as you can see. And that's kind of how the night races and stuff go. Way on the 4-inch and NASCAR classes. And not doing a whole lot of wrecking to be as new of a racer as he is. But of course, he's got a background of following several racers. His pinball name is actually Verstappen, so those that follow Formula One will know who that is. And you know, that's just a little bit of burden there, very, very close together, 52 and 55 between the two. It's going to be a little bit of a battle between them, but the real battle that's taking place right now is between Randy Payton and Glenn Burden. All three of these guys are within a few laps of each other. Literally, all it would take is just one person to wreck 3 times in a heat, and it would be game over. But these guys are racing so great tonight not hardly any wrecks since I put the glue down before Dead Man's Corner. That might be something that's going to be a little bit harder over here for April. As you can see here in top left of your screen here, April's pinball tournament, going wild, going crazy. You probably hear it in the background, kiddos and stuff out there playing pinball. You might even see it on some of the cameras there on the orange track. But nonetheless, we are having quite a big turnout on the pinball. A lot of people coming in here giving their best attempts, trying to get on that top 5 position. We've had some late night shutdowns too, where that guys and gals wanted to stay in just a little bit later than we usually stay open, which we don't mind. And you know, we want especially if you're in a good rhythm, you hate to cut a person's rhythm off. Like I always tell the guys, I got nowhere to be but here tomorrow. Now, of course, yesterday we wasn't here. We ended up getting caught up in some stuff and wasn't going to be able to make it here on time, so we didn't end up coming in. And you know what? It was quite good. I ended up having a little bit of a time off, and it felt quite good just to relax for another day there at the house and just get my mind collected. Did a lot of going to the dump, this room that's next to us. It's got several plans. I don't know which one's going to be which, but we ended up busting a wall down last week. I went over there and ripped out a wall and stuff like that, so we took all that stuff to the dump. Rainy, nasty. Everybody wants to be here at Lanes Raceway, and we are definitely happy to have them here. We got about 5 seconds before the race gets started, so we better get back over there quick. As we can see, all these ladies over here, they were playing pinball earlier. I hope they had some good scores they were able to put up. It'll be very interesting to see if they were able to. As we go back green racing here, my wife's still on the button as she's triggering down for several of these people. Will we make it a full heat where nobody comes off? But we already see one on the lid there as we see my wife going to put that car back on. That is on green lane. That would be Kel coming off there. Our new GRC rookie racer here. Speaking of GRC though, a guy that always comes to mind, Bruce, put a post up saying that he wished he was here a couple nights ago whenever the guys were having a race. And we do surely miss you out here, just winning every race, man to man. So, you know, with the extra competition and stuff, it would be interesting to see if he came back out, how all the competition and stuff would stack up between these guys. And another one that really blew my mind, this in our previous series that we held here, Paul Wilson taking home the victory on the oval track in our intermediate series. He had a very, very consistently fast, consistently is more or less the best term for it. He was always running a little bit better of a race every time he was racing. I think he had a bad luck once or twice, but that was about it throughout the series. And like I said, Paul coming up in here on his racing, he's been doing quite well. Definitely between him, Tom, and Randy Kirtley on the orange track as of late, really battling it out. But I'll tell you what, it wasn't just but about a month ago, the man to beat was Glenn Burton in the GTP racing that we were doing. Now, we've since moved on to LMP because that's going to be our next series. It should go. Very seldom that you have to kill the track, and these guys are showing their skills today because of fear. Fear is a definitely good motivator, and thank the good Lord for a little bit of fear. It keeps you on track. His rod and his staff comfort me. Not just the rod, but, you know, his staff. You know, staff is a comforting thing, brings you into the fold nice and easy. The old rod, though, sometimes you need to get spanked there into submit. So we see Randy Kirtley here, 158, 154, 153. That's your top three, Tom Payton, Glenn Burton. Nathaniel and Kel kind of separating each other, but like I said, it could just be one more heat. Nathaniel could wreck 3 times, and that'd be it, you know. And like I said, I do believe the 3 and out is more of the rod aspect of Lanes Raceway for sure, as it is very punishing to get those 3 hits. But it's such a punishment that if it happens to you, you're like, what is the one thing I can do to not feel this pain? And one of the things to not feel that pain is, of course, work on consistency, work on timing, work on what do I got to do to my car to keep it on the track? Is it bent? And it causes all these good things to take place. What are the good things? Well, it causes you to put in effort to make sure your car is on the up and up instead of just throwing it back out there in a race that this wouldn't matter. Because on normal races, we're not going to just straight up shut you out and make you where you can't race no more. But in a 3 and out, you better make sure your car's on tip-top shape, because if it isn't, it's the next thing is you're coming off, and if you come off 3 times, you're out. So it's just like baseball. 50 seconds left to go, and these guys will be going back green. Tom Payton in a good position here. He's hoping on Randy Kirtley's car to fail him so that he can take advantage of said situation and take back that lead. Glenn Burden's hoping on the same matter. 33 seconds left to go. We'll be heading green. I'll go ahead, head back to our main screen here this evening. Tom Payton out there talking a little bit of smack. Maybe he's talking that smack like he's going to wreck them if they get in his way. We'll see. But yeah, I remember when we first opened, there was a whole lot of wrecking going on, a whole lot of track calls being called, and I think people got settled into themselves with the track calls so much that they were pushing more than they should, and, you know, hoping on a track call to be called and, you know, giving that extra little bit. But these game modes definitely bring things back into perspective, as we see a car there stuck in, it looks like Nathaniel's, but he's stuck there in the dead portion of the track that counts your lap. Come around the highman's corner and he let off deep. So he was scared that he was going to come off. So like I told you, the rod is a fearful thing here at Lanes Raceway. And 3 and out is definitely a rod scenario, as it scared Nathaniel enough that he hit that brake a little bit too soon on that. All right, back in the mix. And we're going back green. So Glenn got his wire fixed up there. So we can hang on for another 2 minutes and 34 seconds. I was just telling Tom and Glenn out there while I was out there, I said, y'all going to have to wreck old Randy. Going to have to wreck him to get him out of the way. We'll see what they do. I might leave him alone, but I'm always trying to stir up a little bit of controversy. We'll see what happens here. Right now, Randy running a really tight and clean race. It's his median is highest out of everybody. Just running very consistently. Tom Payton right there behind him, though, on orange. Running very consistent also. Both their best laps pretty close together, too. Him and Glenn Burton's also to do their best to try to stop Randy from going as hard as he's going, for sure. We are currently halfway through the heat. Minute and 26 seconds left to go. Randy Kirtley with 180. They're on purple. We get a yellow flag. Who is it? So that's Kel. There was just one. He's doing a whole lot better this heat on blue. Said he enjoyed racing these cars. Something popping on my desk over here. One minute left to go. Randy Kirtley starting to lead by 5 laps. And we get a yellow flag. This is really still any of these top 3 guys' race here tremendously. So I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen in the next couple of heats here. This one here is just about over with, but everybody running very consistently. Tom Payton, like I said, 5 laps down from Randy. Glenn, 1 lap down from Tom. Glenn Burton running a hard black lane there, as we see 4.402. That's pretty quick for black lane. He always runs black lane very, very aggressive. So we come there. Let's take a look at Glenn's black lane. 39, so far the best one in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Randy Kirtley still likes his black lane left to go, but 199 for Randy Kirtley, a 39.8 average. Tom Payton, 1 lap average down below Randy, a 38.8. And Glenn Burton average down from Randy from 38.4. Nathaniel, 25.4. Of course, he had some rough startings there on green. And Kel, of course, he had a couple times rough startings there, red, white, and green. There with 99 laps and an average of 19.8. As we'll be right back with you. The 3 and out has got these guys racing so good. We might just need to make this a mandatory thing here at Lanes Racing. Everybody's running so tight and close together, giving each other room, not wanting to offend. It's nothing like our wide open track, the way that people race. Right now, this big cluster that took place that you're seeing here going through the S-turns, that would not have lasted 4 heats or 4 laps in a row. It would be a cluster bomb go off within 1 lap. We're going to have a big cluster forming here. So we finally get a yellow flag and a big cluster. And that car getting put back on orange there of Nathaniel Burton. I think that's just 1 wreck that just took place in 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. These FCR or GRCs are really getting put through the ringer, and these guys are keeping them on, boys. It's such a good thing to see, to watch these guys race. Holding down the game for sure. Turning 41 laps. I didn't know if Glenn was going to be able to get beat or not on black, but it looks like Randy was able to turn in quite a fast time on black. Him and Glenn sitting over there, they must be trading secrets, because Glenn, for the most part, owns black. They say he's like Bobby Pierce going around there, him and Randy both. So I know they've been talking to each other, as both of them are running that black lane so hard they drag the body on the outside. Like Bobby Pierce there. So he was racing last week. Randy Carly brought it in here on his phone. We could have actually watched it here at the track. I don't know if we can do that. Maybe we can do it for free. I think we can do it, because we don't charge anything for people to come in here. But nonetheless, he showed me the video of that, and when he did, seeing that car of Bobby Pierce just go to the outside like he did, he ended up breaking in the race. But if he didn't break in the race, he would have ended up winning it. He was that much faster than the rest of them, but quite dangerous, to say the very least, running that high outside like that. It'd be a lot quicker and everything else, but man, the skill that is required to basically drag your rear quarter panel across the concrete wall, and the sheer braveness that you would have to have, if that's a word, is something that you would have to have also. So seeing them come up there and actually keep it without destroying the car is quite interesting, to say the least. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Heading back outside, we can see still wet out there, still very nasty looking. This looks like we got a little bit of an offset going on with the camera currently on the outside there. That is a Mustang, a red Mustang there. Very similar to my white Mustang I used to have, but it's red. And then of course, but you can kind of see how the color is kind of offset. You little black layers here next to the lights. Something's going on with the camera out there. Might have got hit by our bird trying to plant its back down on green, something a little bit more controllable there. We got 15 seconds left to go. 4 seconds left to go, and we're going to do a rotation. And that is a red flag rotation. So we can see here, how good did Tom do on red? It's very important. He done well. He was 1 lap different from Randy, so really could not have asked for a better red or white lane from him. Glenn still likes a white lane he's got to run. So this next one here is going to be the equalizer between Glenn and Tom. Most likely Tom will be able to get that lap back from Glenn, but they are very, very close. As we see 38.7 and 38.6. These guys are running very tight. Randy Kirtley there with a average of 40 with 280. Glenn and Tom both had their fingers crossed he was going to wreck another couple times there, but that was not the case, and he was not able to do so. So I'm going to leave you guys here with our current pinball April tournament here, as I'm going to take a couple minutes and I'll be right back with you. All right, we're back racing. Deal with the customer there real quick. Want to play pinball. And talk to Clay as he's got his NASCAR body all up. He said he's got her stiffened up, got her nice and tight. He's ready to race in NASCAR. So we might end up running NASCAR on the oval. Unless the guys want to run NASCAR on orange, which we haven't done that in a bit. So the guys might actually want to do that. First, and a full heat without one wreck. And it ended up having 3 wrecks before it was said and done. But man, they made it 99% before they ended up having those 3 wrecks. Kind of like tonight. These guys running impeccable. So we see Randy Kirtley still out there in the lead with 296 laps. Glenn Burton with 287. Tom Payton 287. Lynn and Tom right there neck and neck. Who will prevail as they both tick over 1 lap here? Tom Payton now currently getting that 19th lap. He's got about a full track length he's got to gain on Glenn in 1 minute and 30. Who ended up getting it out of Tom and Glenn?
Exactly the same.
No way. Hang on a second, ladies and gentlemen.
I ain't never seen somebody pull a car off the top of the thing and go. Look at it, back to side and back, and just as much body difference as the front. Yeah. What is it doing? Back to side. Look at it in the back.